I do not find joy in calling attention to anything that tolerates or encourages rape. The purpose of this video is not to bash Christians or mock their beliefs, but it is because I've been listening to them that I have to ask about rape in the Bible. When assertions are often made that the Christian God is an all-loving and compassionate being, and the Bible should serve as a moral guidebook, I have to wonder where the commandments or laws are that forbid rape. You won't find anything in the Bible that resembles "thou shalt not rape," yet according to some apologists, there are prohibitions on rape in their scriptures. In an article from the Christian Apologetics and Research Ministry, Matt Slick cites Deuteronomy 22:25-28 as evidence that God punishes the rapist. The passage mentions that if an engaged woman is raped out in the country, only the rapist deserves death and not the girl. Why does it have to specify that the girl is innocent? Because in the preceding verses, which Slick so conveniently omits from his article, we are told that an engaged woman who is raped in the city must be stoned to death along with her rapist if she doesn't cry out loudly enough to be heard. The key issue behind both of these passages is also the status of the women as engaged or pledged to be married. In the verses following after Slick's citation, a convenient omission yet again, we find quite a different punishment for a man who rapes an unmarried woman or one who is not engaged. The rapist pays the father 50 shekels and is forced to marry his victim, never allowed to divorce her. With these passages back in context, we can see that the act of rape is not punished as an offense against the woman, but rather as a violation of property rights. In the culture of that time, a virgin or single woman was the responsibility of her father, up until she became engaged and that responsibility transferred over to her husband. This can especially be seen in stories like Jacob's marriage to Rachel, where instead of Rachel willfully accepting him, her father Laban is who Jacob must persuade. In these passages in Deuteronomy, we see that the penalty for violating an unengaged woman is payment of 50 shekels to her father, emphasizing the responsibility of the father over his daughter. In the case of an engaged woman who does not cry out, she and her rapist are both killed because they each violate the husband's responsibility in their own way. And in the case of an engaged woman who is raped in the country, the only identifiable reason for the rapist's punishment is that he has violated another man's property. Another passage that Matt Slick and many other apologists seem to ignore in their discussion of how rape is viewed in the Bible would be 2 Samuel 12:11-12. God uses rape as a punishment for David's sin with Bathsheba by decreeing, "Before your very eyes I will take your wives and give them to one who is close to you, and he will sleep with your wives in broad daylight." As it later turns out, this person close to David is his own son. And according to Leviticus 20:11, wives who sleep with both a father and son must be put to death. So God's choice of punishment for David involves the rape and murder of at least 8 women. Oh, and the son Bathsheba bore with David also dies. Finally, the Israelite God permits his people to keep young virgin girls and beautiful women for themselves whenever they conquer a foreign enemy. The likelihood of all captives complying with their captors is slim, but irrelevant anyway, since submission to a rapist would still be rape if the woman does not desire the man she's with. However you try to spin it, the Bible does not denounce rape, nor is it silent about it. Yahweh does not seem too appalled by the rape of Gentile women, and in the rape of Israelite women, his primary concern appears to be for the men they belong to. How does this fit with the idea of an all-loving God, or the Bible being some sort of moral guidebook? I am aware that many Christians dismiss the Old Testament as something no longer applicable, but does it not bother you that your God once thought this way? And who's to say he doesn't now, when the New Testament literally has nothing to say about rape, and Jesus seems to find the Old Testament to be a moral guidebook worth following? Homosexuality is denounced in both the Old and New Testaments, yet rape gets no condemnation in either. Perhaps, as we've seen in more than a few examples, the Judeo-Christian God doesn't have such a problem with rape. And this is only one reason why I have such a problem with the Judeo-Christian God.